Get over here!
Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley.
I'm John.
Last month, cinephiles and comic book nerds all started geeking out about the rumors that Disney and Fox had held some initial talks for a deal that would see all of Fox's film properties transferred over to the House of the Mouse. From the sound of it, those talks, they were on pause at the time. That's no longer the case.
Yeah, CNBC is reporting that not only are the talks back on, they're accelerating towards a deal that could close as early as next week.
That's really fast in business terms.
With Fox selling off anything that isn't its news, business news, and sports broadcast assets.
So this would be a monumental deal that shifts the entire entertainment landscape for, well, plenty of obvious reasons. Like one of the top 5 film studios acquiring one of the other top 5. But also a few less obvious reasons, all of which we'll dive into because that's where we get really excited. But come on, what you really want us to talk about is getting the X-Men and Deadpool in MCU, right? And Fantastic Four, maybe.
Get the X-Men away from Fox.
It sounds like they're working on it.
Please.
I remember
get them away from
when
Bryan
Marvel.
Singer.
Remember when Marvel was like, "Yeah, we figure we'll get them back at some point." Cheeky.
They got money. Before we get to that, however, let's talk a bit more about this new report and what we know about it so far. According to CNBC, this crazy deal would see Disney scooping up the rights to Fox's film and television assets with a valuation somewhere in the neighborhood of just a tiny little itty bitty $60 billion.
It's a lot of dollars.
That's a lot.
It's time to empty out the Scrooge McDuck vaults. Okay, following the deal, all that would remain of Fox is its news, business news, and sports assets. Basically, its broadcasting arm. When the talks were first reported, sources close to the matter said that Fox had identified its broadcasting properties as high priority and wanted to infuse them with more cash through a potential sale of the rest of its business. $60 billion would do it. That desire led them to speak to both Disney and Comcast about an acquisition, but apparently talks with Disney progressed the quickest.
Because they got money.
A lot of money.
They got that sweet Star Wars money to be spending.
And the Marvel money.
They have like 26% of the market share right now.
And the
theaters.
parks money.
Yeah, they got.
And the Pixar money.
They got the money. Gobbling up all of Fox's film rights would give Disney, who already owns Star Wars and Marvel, a significantly updated roster of valuable intellectual properties. And naturally, the most exciting of those would be the film rights.
For us, anyway.
Naturally, the most exciting of those would be the film rights to Marvel's outstanding X-Men and Fantastic Four characters, which have been notably missing from the flock in Marvel's MCU.
This brings up a ton of potential questions and opportunities for Marvel with these characters, like how quickly would they move to put the Fantastic Four and X-Men back into that universe? Would they try to get them back in as soon as one of the Infinity War movies?
That would be rough.
It would
Maybe
be
like
quick.
in a post-credit scene.
At best, probably.
That I would lose my shit over. I don't lose my shit over very much anymore, but that, if they pulled that out, oh man, I'd applaud that.
That's like, ugh, though.
It's either that or they could try to save them for the next phase of 20 plus films that we're all going to watch until we're grandparents and great-grandparents.
That would definitely fill out some of those movies.
What would this mean for the current rumored plans for the Dark Phoenix saga?
Maybe they can cancel it.
Yeah, or fix it and make it right. Can Disney get the Skrulls involved and do a big Secret War storyline? Secret Invasion would be cool. That would be awesome. And what does this mean for the rumored X-23 film?
Yeah, it's also would they keep some of the current actors involved in the X franchise, like Ryan Reynolds, for instance,
Yes.
who is basically irreplaceable in the Deadpool role? Or can they convince Hugh Jackman to come back for one last collaboration and get him on screen with some of our other Marvel favorites? I mean, Jackman has previously said that if he could cross over with MCU characters, he would be willing to reprise the role.
Wolverine shaking the hand of Captain America would be pretty awesome.
Yeah,
It'd be pretty cool.
it would.
That's all I would need, just that scene. Just have Jackman come on, just shake Cap's hand, and then walk off. You're like, done, we're good.
Maybe
it
that's
was
your
worth $60 billion.
That's your post-credits scene right there.
But back to Deadpool. How will Disney handle a super R-rated character?
That's tricky. That is trickier.
Yeah, when something like that is typically out of their wheelhouse.
But it's not out of Marvel's wheelhouse.
Yeah. Will they water him down or treat him with kid gloves? And when can he be on screen with Spider-Man?
Oh, well, that's one they have to work out with Sony too.
Oh,
but,
shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of questions as for when all these characters could show up. It's also worth noting that when Disney and Sony were gearing up to play nice with Spider-Man, Kevin Feige and the Civil War directing duo, the Russo brothers, totally had a backup plan in mind if the deal fell through.
So, it's possible that the brain trust for the Marvel MCU already has a backup plan in place for the event that Fox's characters come back to Marvel anyway. So, maybe we'll see them sooner than we even expect. You never know.
Yeah, look, and while the big headlines here obviously going to be around the Marvel Cinematic Universe stuff, and it's still very, very exciting. It is important to remember that Fox has a valuable set of original cash-printing IPs, too, so that Disney can make some of that $60 billion back.
It takes a while.
Yeah, getting their hands on the MCU stuff, no doubt valuable to Disney, but that alone, probably not worth the $60 billion, just by itself.
Yeah, so in addition to all that, Disney would get the rights to the likes of Alien, Predator, Die Hard, The Simpsons, Ice Age, Alvin and the Chipmunks. Don't laugh, this is one of the highest grossing franchises for Fox. They've made like 10 of them.
Really?
Home Alone, Borat, Rocky Horror Picture Show, The Omen, 28 Days, Weeks, Months Later, The Fly, Planet of the Apes, Taken, and The X-Files.
All right, that's not it though. That is a long list of crazy stuff, but there's also Miracle on 34th Street, The Day the Earth Stood Still, The King and I. Come on, that's the real money maker. Cleopatra, Dr. Dolittle.
That's the money.
Look, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
Nope,
Kid.
Dr. Dolittle.
Hello, Dolly.
Dr. Dolittle.
MASH, Poseidon Adventure, Phantom of the Paradise, Young Frankenstein, which is huge, Revenge of the Nerds, Cocoon, Big Trouble in Little China, Princess Bride, Big, Edward Scissorhands, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Don't touch that.
Fight Club, Moulin Rouge, Master and Commander. And they've already got projects like Battle Angel Alita, New Mutants, and the J-Law starring Red Sparrow in the can.
And Dr. Dolittle.
But mostly Dr. Dolittle.
Just keep that franchise going. Don't stop. Just keep making them. And none of that's even mentioning the current highest grossing film of all time, Avatar. And the multiple sequels that James Cameron is filming.
Yeah, it's 2 for now, and then 2 if they don't.
And then 10 more, and then 9 after that, and then they'll extend it to the extended Avatar universe.
Basically an MCU just on its own with Blue Aliens.
Yeah, we've only got 1 film so far.
Disney's already been working with James Cameron on the theme park side of things as well. The director has even said that Disney has a bigger investment in Avatar than the studio actually financing the sequels due to the money they've put into Pandora, the world of Avatar at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
That's right.
Yeah, and doesn't anticipate anything changing in regards to his sequels should this sale go through. Except they can do more.
They literally have Avatar already at a Disney park.
So maybe this has been brewing for a while.
Yeah. If you're Disney, all of that gets a lot cleaner if the rights belong to you completely. In total, the deal for World of Avatar is estimated to have cost around $500 million in development. And no doubt, a big portion of the money was supposed to go back to Fox in licensing fees. Now it all stays with Disney.
All right, so they're paying themselves.
Yeah.
There is also a prestige element at play too. Fox is one of the oldest Hollywood studios. It has a very deep library filled with classics and Best Picture Oscar winners like How Green Was My Valley, All About Eve, The Sound of Music.
I knew that one.
Patton, The French Connection, Chariots of Fire, and another James Cameron classic, Titanic.
Yeah. With all of those properties under their belt, it wouldn't be surprising to see Disney giving any number of those franchises the classic Disney Star Wars reboot treatment.
The Dr. Dolittle cinematic universe.
Just make it happen, please. Get Eddie Murphy on the phone. It's pretty likely their genre stuff will be the most targeted projects.
Yeah, well, we already have Shane Black's take on The Predator coming out next year, for instance. We know Ridley Scott wants to make more Alien films.
He doesn't know any other movies.
But there's definitely some intriguing possibilities for franchises or movies that Fox has sort of allowed to go limp over the years.
Given Disney's penchant for family films, it wouldn't be too surprising to see if they try to spin up some new entries for titles like Edward Scissorhands, Sandlot, Big, or even Princess Bride.
I would take more Princess Bride.
No!
The movie takes up like
Perfect.
one little chapter of the book, though.
You don't get Carrie Elwes, I Riot.
Fair. But another big play for Disney here that shouldn't be underestimated. The value of this acquisition brings their upcoming SVOD service or subscription video on demand service. They've been making a lot of big moves for their proprietary streaming service in recent months with plans to even pull their content off of other platforms like Netflix.
Yeah, adding Fox to their library suddenly makes this service much bigger than it was previously.
Huge!
Yeah, and it would give them some room to blow out the service with even more original content. An X-Files continuation only available to subscribers could provide some good competition for the rival Netflix.
But let's not forget about Star Wars. Ever. Don't ever forget about it.
They won't.
When Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion, that included every single Lucasfilm property, character, and film, with one teeny tiny exception.
Really?
The distribution rights to the very first Star Wars movie, which Fox fully financed and has held on to throughout the years.
Okay, so George Lucas got all Star Wars creative rights through a deal that involved self-financing The Empire Strikes Back and essentially granting Fox the rights to distribute any of the Star Wars sequels. But he was never able to retain the distribution rights to A New Hope. That means Fox owns the ability to put to release the original Star Wars to theaters on Blu-ray or even cable TV.
So now if Disney buys Fox, they now have 100% full complete ownership of everything Star Wars. This could lead to some real big screen re-releases or a fingers crossed remastered 4K Blu-ray set that includes the long-desired theatrical cuts. You know, not the crazy new CG cuts, which is all you can really get anymore unless you got an old Laserdisc player.
Oh, that'd be nice. There's also some additional vagueness around the TV side of things. Murdoch wants to keep news and sports for sure, as well as broadcast channels. What does this mean for something like The Simpsons?
Well, we obviously won't have all the answers to this, or really any of the questions for sure until things become more official and the terms of the deal start getting more concrete. From the sound of it, we might get the first inkling of what's to come as soon as next week. So we'll see if The Simpsons makes the move.
Yeah. What do you guys think about the seemingly imminent purchase of Fox by Disney? Are you excited? Or are you put off by the prospect of Disney owning everything? You know.
Absolutely everything.
There's problems there too. I'm geeking out, but like Disney owning all? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, and for future updates on all your entertainment news, be sure to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know.
Monopolies are never bad.
I just want to know that if they got Deadpool, they would treat it appropriately.
As in, don't touch it.
Yeah, look, the new Deadpool that Fox was willing to take a risk and do a rated R Deadpool. I don't think we would have got Logan. Phantom of the Paradise. What is that? Phantom of the Opera? What the fuck is Phantom of the Paradise?
It's a thing.